somebody who you are connected to, energetically speaking, has been deeply inspired by steps that you have taken in your life to align with your higher calling, your higher path. This person may be very inspired by the way that you live your life, your belief system, how you carry yourself in the world, how you show up in interpersonal relationships, not just with them, but with others. And it has caused this person to go into an experience of deep personal reflection. This person would describe you as their hero, as their inspiration. And it feels like they're a little bit shy about telling you that because they don't want to embarrass you. They don't want you to feel very self conscious. But this is somebody who has a lot of reverence for you, a lot of gratitude that they have been able to connect with you in this lifetime, that you in some way are a part of their life, even if there has been some distance between the two of you that has accumulated through what feels like needed to be sort of a necessary breaking away from one another for a period of time. So this person could like figure certain things out. There might have been karmic cycles they needed to close up on. There could have been third parties in the mix that might have had to do with another romantic partner, could have had to do with a job, could have had to do with a family system, a culture, a series of beliefs, even a relationship with themselves, that it was kind of like they reached sort of a threshold with you where they came to an understanding like you were part of the informed decision to take a step away, because there's a sense of like, I can't give of myself fully to you or any more to you than I already have, even though there is a desire to have more of that deep and pervasive connection, until I figure some things out, until I clear some things out, until I close certain cycles out within myself, grieve the loss of those things, shed the layers of identity associated with those things, create a renewal for myself, create balance for myself, find myself again, come home to my own energy, and to be able to then very mindfully move forth, not in a place where you would then be forced to kind of like take on a lot of toxicity from this person, or where they would kind of embroil you in their own chaos in some sort of way. This is not somebody that wanted to put this connection on the back burner, but this is somebody that almost has recognized, or did recognize, I want something more with you, but in order to have that, I need to make some tough choices to cut away from things that stand between the two of us and the free expression of this love. This is somebody who's been working very quietly behind the scenes to close out those cycles for themselves first and foremost, but it feels like this is something where they've also been very motivated to fight for a place in your life, or fight for this kind of potential between the two of you to become something real, to become something deep, to become something lasting. And in order to do that, they knew that there were certain things that they had going on in their life that were at odds with this. Because this is the energy of like, you make this person feel free. This energy of the Chariot is a card of movement, forward progression, advancement, expansion. It was an expansive love. They were expanding into a version of themselves that the rest of their environment and circumstances collided with. Who they were becoming in your presence couldn't fit in with how they were required to show up for other things. Or if there was like another romantic person in the mix here, even if this is somebody that was like separated from another romantic partner, it's like, I need to have that divorce finalized before anything more can happen between the two of us. I need to close that experience out before I can begin something with you, before I can express my feelings and tell you the truth that is in my heart for you. I need to make sure that I've tied up other loose ends in my life, so it is only you and me. This is never the kind of person that wanted to like juggle you with a third party, or would make you feel like you'd have to compete. That competition could have even been with something professionally, like their jobs in the form of a third party. This could be a third party in terms of, again, like family, culture, religion, belief system, their relationship with their self, anything that was kind of like a wedge or a conflict that wasn't in alignment, didn't equate with this newness that you brought forth, this other aspect of them, this light that came on, this expansive experience that's possible with you. And so this is somebody that wants to come back towards you. Maybe apologies are owed, but it feels like if that's the case, this is somebody that wants to reconnect and wants to let you know, these are the big changes that I've made in my life. These are the profound steps forward that I have taken away from things that have run their course, that never served me to begin with, or were simply the products of like choices that a lower vibrational version of me made, because I choose the higher vibrational version of me that can align with you in an open and unencumbered way as far as romance is concerned, and also in terms of like their life in general, how this love between the two of you that can develop, how that will sort of change the way in which they live their life in general. We also have the Nine of Wands. So this is definitely somebody that they're sitting in that kind of like wounded warrior energy. They miss the hell out of you. They don't like being apart. They are somebody that is wanting to kind of come back with almost the victory of conquest, the triumph. I've closed out of that cycle. I stepped away from that experience. I disconnected from that person. I shed that layer of my identity. I put my foot down with those people. I've chosen something better for myself because it was time for me to do that, but also because the version of me that exists on the other side of that fight, what may have been a very tough decision, like a back and forth. Is this the right choice? Is this the right time? If I take this step, there's no turning back. Like this person thought long and hard. They fought through a lot of doubt that would have kept them safely tucked within the comfort zone, aligned with what was known and familiar, that in some way, shape, or form, actually, or as far as their perceptions are concerned, kept them away from being able to kind of immerse themselves, not just in the fullness of the loving experience with you, but the life that that could afford them. How life would change for them potentially through stepping into that timeline where there's romance with you and there are so many other opportunities in life that are possible for them. This is somebody that wants to come towards you and not give you these promises that they'll change, or I'm working on it. It's like they've been working on that. This is somebody that is going to come towards you very battle worn, very weary. It's been a hard battle that they've fought. Some of you might have felt this with this person energetically. Their energy could have just kind of dropped off because they've been in the midst of that battle with themselves. But when they come back around, it will be as a transformed version of them. It's a version of them that is on the other side of whatever they had to give up, whatever they surrendered, whatever they lost, whatever victories they claimed, whatever that looks like. This is a new manifestation of them that comes home to you. And that's where the healing begins. That's where the love begins. Like the next chapter of your love, or perhaps the beginning of it for the first time. If there was always an obstacle such as whatever is the case or was the case standing between the two of you, this is somebody that has been like waiting to make contact, take a step forward, reach out until they brought something to a place of closure or of certainty. If they needed to step away from a romantic partner, they were giving that time, giving themselves time to grieve that loss, to find themselves, to shed those energetic attachments, to rediscover who they are or invent who they want to be moving forward. This is somebody that didn't just want to kind of jump from one situation straight over to you. And that can apply to anything that this person has had to walk away from. This is somebody that recognizes like you represent the start of a fresh cycle, but in order to accept that, in order to claim that, in order to align with that, it required closure of something for themselves. For some of you, with this energy of Nine of Wands, this is several people. You have motivated several people to close out cycles for themselves. And it'll be different what that is for everybody. That there was something that was like an actual or known obstacle or something that this person just knew of inside themselves that would have tarnished the possibilities between the two of you, that conflicted with that collided with the openness of the experience. And they tried to connect, they tried to make it work. They tried to have the best of both worlds, or to be one version of themselves with you and some version of themselves elsewhere. And it didn't work. And so they chose to pull back, step away. Maybe you're the one that pulled back, you stepped away, you closed the door. But that wasn't the end of the story. For some of you, this is multiple people where you're going to like hear about these changes. You're going to hear about these people coming forth. You're going to hear about these people kind of like, okay, something new's going on, and then they reach out to you. Then you get that communication. For some, it'll be with apology. It'll be with like everything you've been wanting to hear, that change you never thought the person would make, and they've made it. And they say, here I am. You told me that this needed to not be a part of my life, or you told me what it was that you needed, and I couldn't exactly give that. Well, now my circumstances have changed, and so here I am, ready to show up for you. I've gone through an evolution, an expansion in my own life. I am equipped to evolve alongside you. This is somebody, it feels like, or even like multiple somebodies, again, who are going through this process of like a rite of passage. Something big that this person or these multiple people each needed to kind of like for themselves choose to disconnect from. But also within that choice, embedded within that choice, was the understanding that they weren't just stepping into the void of nothingness, but it was like a potential for a love story with you would be more within reach than ever. That has represented a light at the end of the tunnel for one person, for some of you, and for others of you, this is like multiple people. You've been that light at the end of the tunnel. So this Nine of Wands can also be competition. Multiple people vying for your attention. Multiple people coming in with the right energy. They've made it the right time for themselves. They've turned themselves into the right person to be able to offer you something real. So you'll have a choice to make. Who will you choose? We also have the Hanged Man. Yeah, so this is connections that were, kind of suspended in time, frozen in time, thawing out, communication, picking up, energies commencing. A person or people having freed themselves from very substantial cycles in their life, now in a position to show up for you in this connection fully, to participate with you in a way that can align with what it is that you're seeking. For a lot of you, this will involve getting to know someone all over again. It's like the same person, but you're meeting a different version of them. Because this isn't just something small that they've closed up from or walked away from. It's like you're meeting them at the beginning of a new type of cycle for themselves. But it's not just a loss that happened. You're not meeting someone at a rock bottom energy. You're meeting somebody who has pushed up through the gravel. They're that rose that grew through the concrete that extends itself to you now and says, will you have me as I am, as this version of myself that has created newness out of choosing to discontinue things that were limiting or that had run their course, or that actually, or at least in their own kind of perception of things, were obstacles to what was possible between the two of you. So this is an energy of like second chances. This is an energy of realistic offers, something to really work with. with this individual, if it's just one person or if this is multiple people, like you got options, there's really something to work with these people, where whatever had been the limit, even just kind of a standoffish sort of energy, like an energetic kind of block, something emotional, that's been cleared away through material changes that this person or these people have made. And this person or these people are looking towards you as, now I'm ready. I've made myself into the version of me that can give you what you want, can receive the fullness of what you have to offer. So expect communication. Expect to hear news of change. Expect to feel that potential open up once again, where things might have been stagnant. This person could have taken a step back. They needed time to figure themselves out, or the energy just went cold between the two of you. This isn't just something where it's like in that astral plane, in that higher realm, in the 5D, you feel this person again. This is something with this hanged man that speaks to kind of like touching upon the ground, coming out of that sort of mental realm of what if, or a connection frozen in time, to sort of catapult oneself into a grounded position of being able to offer realistically a different perspective on what's possible. Like before, it was just sort of a dead end. It was done, it was paused, that was all that could happen, or it was unknown. And this is now moving into a place of, there are other choices, there are other options. Even if it's just one person coming forward, there are options now as far as how your story with one another can unfold or be written, depending on what you want with them and what this kind of evolved version of them, what that stimulates within you as far as new potentials and possibilities, where you at this point, as you're hearing this, might just be like, no, it's too late for that. I waited long enough, or I had to let that go because I never thought they would change, or this wasn't what I'm looking for. And this is like, they're going to surprise you. And that essence of that person that comes forth armed with like these changes that they've actually made, it gives you something to think about. It's a new set of conditions that opens up the possibility of different kinds of questions, that whatever the dynamic and the circumstance, the material details, or the way that they were kind of positioned in relation to this connection, or the possibility of it before, that all changes. And so therefore it's a different factor, a different like series of variables that you have to work with. It's an offer you will entertain. It's a possibility that's intriguing. It's something that it feels like will also help to shift you into an energy of thinking perhaps, as opposed to no, or like that's never going to happen. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.